Hey guys, Wolverine here coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Back again for another comic review for this week. Pretty damn good in my opinion, as always. I have a few titles that I'd like to discuss. Even one book from, like I said, the Villains Month week. I mean, last week was the final week of Villains Week. And like I said, guys, I will review the Villains books that I wanted to pick up. That came out the week of the month of September. I'll pick that up maybe this week or next week or so, or whenever, from my pool. But there was a good question that I think it was people from the DarkAvengerINC family, group that I'm also a part of. They asked, was Villains Month really worth it? Was it worth it? And that's a good question. I think everybody should ask themselves is, was that worth it? Was it really worth it, in a sense? Were there a lot of hit and misses with a lot of issues? And I'm going to tell you right now, the one that I picked up was kind of a damn miss, in my opinion, because I was really anticipating that issue. So let's get right into the review, and so on and so on. So let's start it off, and we're gonna kick it off in DC, pretty much because of it. All right, here it is. The Dark Knight, 32.4, Joker's Daughter, #1. All right. Again, sorry about the glare. Really bright in my room. All right. Anacisa Nascenti does the artwork. Does the writing, and George Gentile does the artwork. Honestly, guys, keeping it real. I always try to keep it real with you guys. Look, this was boring. This was very boring. I'm very disappointed in this book. Was I concerned that she was going to be the real daughter of the Joker? No, I wasn't. But this really was not what I thought it was going to be. This girl came from a privileged background. But her vision of beauty is in terms of cutting herself, and she likes to self-mutilate herself and things like that. And she lives down in these barrack tunnels under Gotham. And one day she finds the Joker's skin. She puts it on and yada yada yada. I'm not even going to really explain it too much, but yeah, this was very boring. And for that, there you go. That gets that. That was terrible, DC. Very disappointed in that. Yeah, I don't recommend that, guys. I want my $2 back for that, $3 back for that. That was boring. Very boring. What a letdown. Very much a letdown. Indeed. So we move on to independent Dark Horse. And we're going with Captain Midnight #3. This was good. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. Not a letdown. Alright, revenge is a dish best served cold. And that definitely plays up into this. Joshua Williamson and Fernando Del Nino, who does the artwork, still deliver on this. We got Captain Midnight fighting polar bear. In a sense, that does happen. Alright, so we get a real sense of who Mistress Shark, the daughter of a Nazi scientist, who she's taking revenge on Captain Midnight for killing her father. We get a good glimpse of why she wants revenge on him, and that pain and anger of it has been carrying for the last 50 years, since 1944. And she wants Captain Midnight to suffer just as much as she lost, the suffering she is carrying from the loss of her father, by having Captain Midnight's one of his allies be killed the same way her father was killed, by being devoured by a group of polar bears. Also, we get a glimpse of more of who was the one that released Captain Midnight from the the custody of the Navy and things like that. But this was just really, really good. Very, very good writing. The drama was there. The suspense was really there. It's like, is Captain Midnight going to be able to save his ally, or is he going to watch his ally die? There are just so many good subplots, and it just gets you right there. This was really good. Dark Horse, keep up the good work. Captain Midnight, number 3. It's not too late to jump on board in this title. Very good. Let's continue into Dark Horse, and we're going with Mass Effect Foundation number 3. This is part 3 of 13, The Fall of Eden Prime. So yeah, we're talking about Eden Prime now. This takes place, we get to see a little bit of a glimpse of what came to be before Ashley Williams was found and helped by Commander Shepard and Kaden Alenko. So we get kind of the story of, in the beginning, her superior officer, her sergeant, really were setting a bad examples for her and her squad, in a sense. Also, he really kind of had it in for Ashley. Like, he wanted to make her look like a fool in front of the others, who had a lot of respect for her and always been saying, you should be leading this squad, not him, things like that. And we got a sense of seeing before the Geth got there, before Sovereign before he landed on Eden Prime, all that stuff. Just good storytelling from the writers of the last two Mass Effect games. It was just really good. Just really dark, gritty stuff that you can think of, like what she was going through when the Geth and Sovereign attacked Eden Prime. And of course the individuals that are also looking into that work for Cerberus are talking to her. She's disguised as a psychiatrist, but she's not, and looked like she was gonna go into getting info out of Commander Shepard, but Kai Ling basically tells her, don't do it. We have a new mission. But it was really, really good. I'm really loving this. Only 3 issues in. This is another series. If you are a Mass Effect fan, if you love one of the greatest game series ever in video game history, you're gonna love this as well. I'm not kidding about that. It is not too late to jump on board. You can probably find the first 2 parts, and if you're not too much of a, if you want to read the other Mass Effect stories like Redemption and Evolution and Invasion and Homeworlds, it's not too late to find those, and maybe graphic novels wise, just good stuff. All right, move on to Dynamite, and we're going with Ms. Fury number 6. This is the Billy Tan cover. I love that cover. That is a beautiful cover. Alright, so this picks up right where that last issue left off. And it left us off with a big cliffhanger, in a sense, for Marla Drake, aka Ms. Fury. She's back now in the 40s, but without spoiling too much for you, something is amiss. Something has changed now. And Marla is going out of her mind trying to figure out what the hell happened. What's going on? Did she screw something up? Or was it the dead Nazi that screwed something up? It's all a mystery to her. But she realizes that she has to find this person that's missing from this time period, that she's supposed to be there. She winds up smack dab in the middle of 1944 Grand Central Station, and it just doesn't go right from there. So she's traveling through New York trying to figure out where this certain element of hers is, and it's playing with her not until the end of the issue where you really figure out that you're like, oh shit, like, what the fuck? It just shows you, don't screw around with time, because it'll come back and bite you in the ass. And yeah, that was something very amiss. Sorry about that. Something in my mouth. I was eating popcorn, so Colonel. But Rob Williams still does a good writing. Does just good writing on this. And we got a new artist on here, Marcio Abrun, yeah. But still, artwork is really good. And if you are reading Ms. Fury, you're gonna love this issue. I guarantee you, you will. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. Excuse me. All right. We move on to IDW. And of course, you should all know what's coming from IDW. Correct. And that ain't none other than TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 26. This is, let me see, I'm just trying to make sure. This is part 5 of City Fall, the City Fall storyline. Okay. The Turtles are still trying to find Leo, of course. We have talking with Angel of the Purple Dragons, and you know, he's trying to make sure, like, okay, if you know, are we still allies with the Purple Dragons, still like on our back? And she's like, I don't know, but you can count on me to help you guys out. I owe you guys a lot. Okay. We also get a sense in the beginning, Leo, who is, you know, brainwashed, he's meditating, and he's remembering his mother in a sense. And there's something on that goes on between there is really good. We have Mikey pretty much assuring his friendship with the pizza delivery guy that he had a good friendship with. You know, he's apologizing and stuff, you know, for, you know, kind of like leaving Mikey hanging and things like that. Mikey, of course, you know, is always forgiving. He's like, no, we're cool, dude. Just, you know, even the guy even says, here, for a keepsake, you know, peace, you know, here's a free pizza, you know, things like that. Donatello, you know, is and April are getting some help from a scientist that he knew, and the Savant and the Foot take the fight to the Savant in this, and it's a battle. And then of course there's a really good scene between Raph and Casey, which was really good. I mean, Casey knew Raph was coming. It was almost like, your ninja stealth skills are, you know, he's like, how long are you going to stay out there? Because it's almost like Raph's been coming there, and Casey been knowing, and Raph finally comes in and he's like, look, I'm sorry. You know, my anger got the best of me, you know, and he's like, look, you weren't the one that gutted me. It was Shredder, you know. But, you know, just, it was just really good from two bros. It was like, you know, it was, you know, it was just, to me, it was like, yeah, you know, that's good stuff right there, you know. You know, I'm looking for a fist bump or something like that, or a brotherly hug, man. Like, I don't, you know, I'm not afraid to hug guys. You know, it's like, yo, you know, it's a brotherly love. Like, all right, that's cool, you know. But it was really good. And then there's Splinter. What's going on with Splinter? In between him doing the favor for Old Hub, which I'm not gonna spoil what Old Hub wanted him to do, but it was damn near good and explosive, to say the least. And then there's of course, Karai and what's going on with her, and it's just like, just good storytelling by Kevin Eastman and all of them. This has just been one hell of a series from beginning to now. I've been loving it. And once again, how many times I've been saying it, guys? If you are a Turtles fan, you are gonna love this series. I guarantee you. Yeah, I'm sounding like classic Leatherface. Oh, guaranteed. Yeah, but no, good stuff. I guarantee. Yeah, I said that already, but yeah, you're gonna love it, guys. All right, so we move on to A story, independent company that I've been getting whips about from, you know, Kickstarter. I always like to dip my hand in Kickstarter and see what's going on, who's trying to build money to get a project off the ground. I'm always loving that, and, you know, support, maybe put a little money in there. And this was a series I've been looking at. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of money into this, and this was a Kickstarter. It comes from the independent company called Unlikely Heroes Studio, and this was a thick issue number 1, 52 pages, but it was actually magical as well, because it was really good. Super. You get a good look at that. One of the main characters on there, that her name is Blitz. This woman right here, who looks like a female Booster Gold. Yeah. The writer, Zachary Dolan, very good job, Mr. Dolan. This was really good. The artwork is, I think he's also the artwork too, the artist. So yeah. And Justin Piat, I hope I'm saying your name right. They do the writing together, and it's also created by them. Zachary Dolan does the ink, as well as Evandro Orizako. If I butcher your names, guys, I apologize. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. It felt like a classic, almost old golden age superhero type story, where it's superheroes out of the woodwork. You know, you're seeing new heroes. It also felt like a little bit of The Tick. That's the way I looked at it too. Like, the heroes are hanging out in a bar together and things like that. Is really fun. This character right here, Blitz is her name. She has what seems to be like electrified powers, and her hair's not really blonde. It's actually, she's a raven hair. She's raven hair. She works as a waitress at a diner, and when she activates her powers, her hair turns gold. So a little bit of Dragon Ball Z up in there, if you want to say, but very original. It was cool. You got all these different characters. Like I said, here's Blitz. I'll show you. Here's Blitz. And she's fighting this robot character called Mr. Roboto. It's kind of funny. Oregato, Mr. Roboto. She's introduced. She has an ally, of course, this guy called the Furious Flaming Ant, who's kind of badass. He looks like a badass version of Ant-Man, you know, Eric O'Grady version, but he's got like these flaming grenades that he tosses around. Here you get to see, you know, her, you know, downgrading her powers. Here she is, and then after they feel it, she's like, "What time is it?" It's 11 o'clock. What? And she has to go back. Really good. I'll show you some more heroes that is just really funny. Here you got this guy called Blood Death, who's like kind of like this patriotic gun-towing nutbag, you know, kind of crazy. He wears like a hockey mask and things like that. You got let's see, who else I'll show you. There's just a lot of, here's the bar that I was talking about, all the heroes hanging out at a bar. And then you got, you got a speedster called the Streak, and he streaks. That's so funny. That's so cool. You got you got a villain here who is a mime, and she doesn't. She, as you can see here, she's like, you know, just give me all your money. You know, which is funny, but she's also sinister. Like, she pulls out a blade and things like that. It's really funny. You got one of the villains here called Korgag. He's like a mixture of Grodd and Mumra and all kinds of other characters. It's really funny. And then you got like the Superman-esque character, Superstar, and he's the leader of a team called the People's Champions. I love it. I was loving it. You got this Shadow-esque Spawn-like character here, who's really cool. He, like I said, he looks like the Shadow mixed with Spawn and things like that. He's like the dark, edgy character. You got this Shadow-esque Spawn-like character here, who's really cool. He, like I said, he looks like the Shadow mixed with Spawn and things like that. He's like the dark, edgy character. You got one of the villains here called Korgag. He's like a mixture of Grodd and Mumra and all kinds of other characters. It's really funny. And then you got like the Superman-esque character, Superstar, and you got this Shadow-esque Spawn-like character, who's really cool. He looks like the Shadow mixed with Spawn and things like that. He's like the dark, edgy character. this was just so much fun to read. I was loving it. And then of course you got some of the villains here. Here you got some of the villains. There's some more of the villains that are cool. Just very good. For a book that was 52 pages, it was just fun. It was just a fun read. I don't want to explain a lot, but I do recommend you can find this book and pick it up. Support this. I love to support, you know, the real lesser known independent companies. This was fun. The writing was just fun. There a little bit of you know, there's a little bit of, some of them do curse a lot, you know, foul mouths, but other than that, you don't mind that. It's just really fun. I love Blitz. She became a real favorite of mine. It is kind of more focused around her, but the other characters, other heroes are like really supporting of her, and they work with her, some of them. This was just really fun, and you know, it was just fun. Oh, I got to show you this Hulk-like character that is really funny as hell. You got like this giant, like he's like kind of like Giant Man, a robot-esque character. He calls himself Man Zero. Here you go, right there. This guy right. If I can get my finger right there, yeah, the blue guy. But let me show you the Hulk-like guy. This was so funny. Okay, here's the Hulk-like Bruce Banner-esque like character right here, and it says, okay, when Dr. Michael Norton becomes drunk or intoxicated, a startling metamorphosis occurs, and the alcohol alters his body chemistry, changing him and removing the slacks, the monster inside of him, like, and he becomes the unquenchable rust. So it's really funny, but he's like super strong, and like when he gets drunk, he becomes like really monster. Like, it's so funny. I loved it. I love the characters in this. This was just so much fun to read. So to all the people that worked on this, and to Mr. Nolan and Mr. Pat, and everybody else for issue 1 of Super, you got me hooked, guys. I'm hooked. You have a supporter behind you, very much. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. And keep up the good works, sir. People. Very much. I can't wait till issue number 2 comes out. And that ending, sweet. Sweet. Alright. So we move on from very fun-loving to really dark and gritty. Scott Snyder, Sean Murphy's The Wake, number 4. We got 6 more issues to go. Oh my god. Can I say shit has really hitting the fan now, big time? Oh my god. Oh my god. How can I... What can I say? Dr. Archer and the rest of her allies are on the run from the creatures. And what we saw at that last issue, holy shit. We saw that the creature that they had in custody was sending out this echolocation, you know, signal. What was it? He was bringing in reinforcements, and mother of God does he bring in reinforcements. And the creatures, are the mermen, or whatever you want to call, are vicious. When they hound you, they're like a pack of wolves hunting down a prey. Very coordinated, very precise, know where to bite, know where to hit, going for vital organs, everything. There's some deaths in here, big time. And of course, they're just trying to stay alive, just trying to survive. And they're able to get into another barrier, but unfortunately for them, the creatures find a way in. They're out for blood. And it's getting very, very, very dire in a need the Dr. Archer and her team need to get out of here. They need to get out of this oil tanker and get back up to the surface. It's a really very the real gritty thrill edge to it is there. The writing from from Mr. Snyder is just really intense. The dark grittiness of Sean Murphy's artwork is there, and it's the ending once again that is like, holy shit. It's like we get in a glimpse. They think it's an earthquake, but it is not. We get to see that I don't want to spoil it. Let me just tell you, it's something big, and it involves the creatures. That's all you're gonna get. But this was really good. Still good. All right. Whew. We move on to Xeno Wars, ZENESCOPE, Realm Knights, excuse me, number 2. Mr. Pat Shant is on the writing. Yeah, am I right? Yeah. And Pat Shant, writer, and Joe Busher. All right. The Realm Knights are still on still trying to catch Hades. They're still on the hunt for Hades, and they need to find him, pretty much, before he's able to do what needs to be done. And Hades even 6, they're in the underworld right now, and Hades 6 Cerberus on them, as you can see right here. Sega Cerberus, Unfortunately, Van Helsing, I believe it's Van Helsing, is able to calm Hades down, Cerberus down, which really is interesting. But yeah, it gets really dire because they're after Hades. They know they after Hades because he has this powerful sickle, and they're still after him. And they finally corner Hades. We realizes that what Hades wanted the sickle for, and unfortunately, it's to bring back none other than Kronos. If you know your Greek mythology like I do, you know Kronos is the father of Zeus. He was ruler of Olympus before Zeus cast him down, defeated his father, and cast him down into Tartarus and things like that. He's one of the Titans. All right. Kronos is totally different in this book. He looks totally different. Here he is right here. This is him. Damn that sun. Oh, you can see him right there. There's Kronos. And he hits the team very hard in this. And the team gets divided very much. Not in like morale and things like that, but loss. Some of the team gets lost and gets cast down further into Tartarus. I'm going to end it right there, because now it's up to the rest of the team to stop Kronos before he basically, him claiming Olympus, his own, again, basically. And the team gets a little bit of a help from another ally. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but it is another god. But let me tell you, let's just say, I'll give you a little clue. It used to be said by Lagoon Boy a lot, Neptune's beard. There you go. Yeah, Neptune he comes at the end of the book. I'll show you him. I'll let you see what Neptune looks like. Here he is. There's God damn that glare. There's Neptune, king of the god of the sea. So, but it was good nonetheless, really good. Well done once again, Mr. Shant and all you guys over there. Keep up the good work. We got 2 more issues to go for Realm Knights, and I've been loving what's been coming out of ZENESCOPE very much. It's always a pleasure to read from them, and I do recommend, if you want to get into an independent company besides Dark Horse and IDW, Image, things like that, Dynamite, ZENESCOPE is where it's at. So we're going to end this with 6 Marvel books for you guys. And the first one is, you haven't seen me review it a lot, but I still read it. I just read it, and, this one kind of really I thought was worth reviewing. I'm not saying that they're not worth reviewing, it's just that this one was just really fun. But the title was just fun anyway. A+X, this issue 12. Okay, on the cover we have who's the team ups. We have Simon Wilson, Wonder Man, jeez, almost forgot that, and Beast, and we have Captain America and Jubilee teaming up. The first story with Wonder Man and Beast is written by Christos Gage. Dave Williams does the artwork, and that story is called what's that story called? What's the story called again? People Change. And in this issue, it's Beast pays a visit to the Avengers mansion, to the the united faction of the the Avengers, the Uncanny team, and he's given something to Rogue and everything like that, and then he bumps into Simon, and they're like, hey Hank, hey Simon, and they almost like they go their separate ways, and then he's like, Beast says, hey Simon, you want to get a bite to eat? And then they start talking. They're like, Simon, what? And they both even turn like, what happened to you? Like, so Beast goes on to Simon, what the hell happened to you? Like, you hired a group of renegades to take out the Avengers at times, and Simon says, you brought your younger selves back from the past to the future, everything like that. And Simon explains, like, my ionic energy started to really mess with my head, so that kind of messed me up for a while. And Beast kind of gives a little explanation why he did what he did, and they're reminiscing about the old days when they were a part of the Avengers, and you see them, and they're just hanging out, just 2 friends trying to reconnect with each other. They're doing a lot of things, together, like, they're having a good time, eating, they're going to the bar, they're dealing with the crime, a certain crime syndicate. They're dealing with they're hanging out and they're having a wrestling match with this woman called Pink Pearl, who's like really heavy set, and if you last 3 rounds with her, you get $1,000. Here you go. And Simon's like, you want me to throw in a towel? They cut off Wolverine's hair and give him like a, as you can see right here, it's really funny. And then they're dealing with the Absorbing Man, and then we find out Simon's like, look, hey Absorbing Man, I know something is bothering you, and we finally get down to he's in the gutter with his wife, Titanium, and they have karaoke together. He's like, call your wife and talk to her and everything. And then, here's Titanium and a couple of her friends basically hitting on, Simon and Hank. Pound Cake is like, and, is hitting on Hank. And, Hank's like, madam, I'm in a relationship and things like that. Simon, help, things like that. It was just a fun story. And the next story is with Jubilee and Cap, and they go down into this World War II U-boat, U-sub, and they deal with what's going on. It's a Nazi sub. They go down to deal with it, and it's kind of funny because they're using these oxygen masks that Stark made for them. And Jubilee's like, I don't even think I really need this because I don't think I breathe anymore. Remember, she's a vampire, so so when they get inside of there, they pretty much find out what's going on. The Nazi soldiers in there are vampires. So now Jubilee's like, hey, did you bring me down here? What did you just bring me down here for? You know, she's kind of like, okay, why did you bring me down here? What's going on? And you know, they're just like, food. Let's kill the the American super soldier and things like that. And you know, we get to see Jubilee cut loose. You know, she's like, it's a good thing I brought my steaks. You know, she's fanged out. She's, you know, got her claws out and everything like that. And you know, she's, after they deal with what they do, you know, Cap's throwing his shield, cutting off their heads and things like that. And then finally, you know, Jubilee's like, you know, you didn't need my help to do this, did you? Why'd you bring me down here? And you know, Cap's like, look, I didn't bring you down here for that reason. What you may be thinking. She's like, I wanted them to show, I brought you along to be an example of you can change, you could be different. You may be a vampire, but you could be different, and you know, you could be different. And then Jubilee says, so you brought me down here because I'm awesome. And he's like, I'll go with that. Yes, okay, things like that. It was, you know, they weren't monsters because they were vampires. They were monsters because they chose to be. And so he's saying, you know, Jubilee, you may be a vampire now, but you're not a monster. You choose to still be the same Jubilee, kind of what we all loved, and you know, things like that. You know, and it was a really touching story. But nonetheless, this was really good. I really enjoyed this. This was a really good. Oh yeah, by the way, Justin Jordan wrote the Captain America Jubilee story, and Angel Zuta did the artwork for that, so that was really good. This was fun. Alright, let's move on to the Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. Look who's on the cover. Angela's on the cover again. Bendis does the writing and consulting by Neil Gaiman. Gotta remember, guys, Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane created Angela, and this is just a slug-out battle between Angela and Gamora, two ladies going at it while Uatu is watching this. And man, there's different artists on this. We have Sarah Pacelli, who does artwork for about a couple of pages, and Oliver Coppelli does a few artworks as well. Oliver Coppelli does some few artworks. And man, I believe this is Sarah. Miss Pacelli does this. Yeah, she does page 1 and 2. Man, does she make Uatu look creepy as hell. Look at Uatu. My God, would you like to look at that face? And then of course we still have some interesting in what was going on between Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and Thanos. That was the person that he was talking to, and he wants to get down to what are the effects of the, you know, Age of Ultron. But yeah, this is just mainly about, you know, Uatu even saying, I'm a watcher, I was meant to watch. Angela is not supposed to be here. He knows it, and you know, things like that. She's not supposed to be here. But in the meantime, you got Angela just fighting the rest of the Guardians, and she's handling herself. You should figure out, for all those who know Angela, like yours truly here, I had a feeling, yeah, she's gonna handle herself pretty damn well, even for Gamora and Drax and people like that. She is literally handling herself. Even when Tony Stark comes in, which is really cool. He comes in and since his armor is still being repaired, and Rocket and Groot, and poor Groot. Oh my God, poor Groot. Oh man. But yeah, Uatu's just watching this, and you know, they're just like, oh my, he's not supposed to be here. She's not supposed to be here. You know, Stark, you know, Gamora's need help. Don't worry, Drax is here. And you know, it's just a slug out battle, and until finally, when Star-Lord finally comes into he's able to kind of subdue her, and they're just like, okay, who is she? Is she dead? Who is she? She looks humanoid. No, she's not human. She's not human, and she looks human. She ain't human. And finally, the Watcher intervenes, which the Watcher is never supposed to do. But we've seen on occasions he has interfered. And as you can see here, he's like, she's not supposed to be here, and things like that. Very good by Bendis. Action in here was off the chain. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Well done, guys. Well done. Move on to Scarlet Spider number 22. Chris Yost. Just killing it. We get a glimpse of why the Hunter, Kraven the Hunter, wants to battle Kane. And it all goes back to the Grim Hunt. Good storytelling once again by Chris Yost. Keeping the continuity, all the content that's still there, all the stuff that needs to be focused on there. And Kane is really he's on the crossroads of, do I let the monster out? Once again, what he's been fighting since day one. Do I let the monster out and just deal with it? He's fighting Anna Kravinoff, Kraven's daughter, things like that. And he's getting angry. He's like, I'm going to kill this bitch. I'm going to kill this little bitch and I'm going to break her neck. And, they're playing with him. The Kravinoffs are playing cat and mouse with him. Just really fast-paced storytelling here. It slowed down from time to time, but it kept up. It went from fast, it went from slow, then it goes, bam. Slow down a little bit, bam. Comes back at you, slow, bam, it's coming back at you. But the storytelling is so good that you realize that Mr. Yost just does a good job telling it. Until, Kane is really concerned. We really get to see some concern with Kane of like, my friends are not dead, my friends are not dead. But just really good story. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but just, it was fantastic. Does Kane get to beat down a little bit on his foe? Yeah, I'll give you that. But yes, it's gonna come to a head in the next issue where Kane battles Kraven the Hunter for not just the well-being of his friends, but something else. Good stuff. Drop the other book. Sorry about that. Okay, we move on to Ultimate Spider-Man. This is 27. I swear to God, why do you guys keep putting this? No more Spider-Man, no more. Miles is Spider-Man now. So they're dealing with Miles and the gang are at the clutches of the ultimate version of the Taskmaster. And this Taskmaster is totally different from the original one. Big time. Totally different from 616. And I like this. Miles, Spider-Woman, and Bombshell, they're kind of at the clutches of him. But Miles' Venom Blast is still working. Because the Taskmaster was going to remove his mask and then activate it. And he's like, oh God, I was glad I still can use that. In this issue alone, we get to see that this Taskmaster, like I said, is totally different. He is what seems to be, he's kind of like Bishop's mutant power. He can absorb everything, and that makes him stronger and dish it back out at you. So, he absorbed Miles' Venom Blast and used it on Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman was beating the crap out of him. He took it and was like, okay, it's my turn. And they were like, how is this guy so strong? What's going on? They think he's on some kind of steroid or not. Bombshell gets involved, and he uses her powers. It gets really dire for the gang, until finally Cloak and Dagger intervene. They come back into the issue. They come back and they help out. And he takes daggers, light daggers, the light daggers that she throws out, right in the chest. And he's used, and then Miles realizes, he's like, don't use your powers on him. He's just abused. He absorbs and makes him stronger. And then Taskmaster is like, yeah, now you're finally getting it. And also, it seems like this Taskmaster has ties to Wolverine in this as well. He talks about Wolverine pretty much, but it was really intense. And we see the young heroes come together to subdue the this Taskmaster. It's really Cloak who subdues him. He puts him in the Dark Force that he can wrap his cloak into you, and you go into the Dark Force, and they're like, "Did you eat him?" As Miles said that, I thought that was so. He's like, "Dude, did you eat him?" Oh, he's like, "No, no, I didn't eat him." And he moves his cloak, and he's like, "There he is." And Taskmaster comes back out of the darkness. The Dark Force that Cloak has, the Dark Force powers he has, and he's just like, "Oh, there he is." And he's like, and they're like, "Look, we got off to a misunderstanding. They're talking to Bombshell. We thought you were with the Roxton Corporation, but we know and so now it's these young, all, how many? 5, I think. Yeah, let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, 5 young heroes are going off to deal with the Roxton Corporation. So it concludes in the next issue. This is really very well done. Bendis does a good job, and Marquez's artwork was really good. Very good story, very good, very action-packed. I like the Ultimate Taskmaster. Very cool. I'm not sure if he's a mutant or not, but he was cool. Like I said, his powers reminded me of Bishop, and a lot of those absorbing mutant power, mutants that can absorb the energy of and dish it back at you stronger. So, Uncanny Avengers 12. Rick Remenders, Salvador LaRocca does this. Now, this one was definitely good. We get a glimpse into a backstory onto the Apocalypse Twins, what they want, why they want Wanda to do what she wants to do. Wanda's really consulting on Simon. She's like, "Simon, what do I do?" She doesn't know. She's really conflicted. She wants to help, and she also knows that she's also responsible for. She goes on a detail like she's responsible for a lot of things in this, and she wants Simon to help her. But we all know that Simon, he's, like I said, I don't know how long this pacifistic side of Simon is gonna last, but it's testing him. Oops, excuse me. We also get to see what's going on with Cap, Wasp, and Alex, and it seems like there might be something. There looks like Mr. Miranda looks like he might be setting up something with Alex and Janet, because there's a scene where they're just like looking at each other like, yeah, on different circumstances, this is pretty romantic, don't you think? I'm like, Mr. Remender, you're really going there with that already? Like, whoa. And they deal with Banshee, and man, Banshee, poor Cap. He deals with Cap. Throws his shield at Banshee. Banshee uses his sonic powers. Throws the shield right back at Cap. Cap gets the wind knocked out of him, and then Banshee goes on to talk to Cap about, "I read somewhere that your parents are from the motherland, from Ireland. You gotta remember, Banshee's Irish. She's Irish." And he goes on to talk about, he's just trying to like, how are your parents this, and your parent, you this and that. He's going all, and he literally yells in Cap's face. Oh my God, that must have hurt. But Alex comes to his aid and things like that. And this was really good. This was more fast paced than the last issue. But we see that the Apocalypse Twins have set a coup, in a sense, for Kang. And I'm not going to spoil anything what they do with Kang the Conqueror. But this was really good. Damn it, that glare. This issue was really good. I'm sorry, guys. My room gets a lot of sunlight. Bam, it's just hitting me. It's hitting me in the face, too. You can see it on my face. But, yeah, this was really good. I like this issue a lot more better than issue 11 in terms of the pacing. The pacing was good. It really stirs up the pot, and it makes you wonder, what is Wanda going to do? What is Simon going to do? What's the Red Skull's plan? What happens to Kang the Conqueror? Everything is just really good. And last but not least, we go to Wolverine and X-Men number 36. This is part 5 of Battle of the Atom. So far, Battle of the Atom has delivered very well. Jason Aaron's does the writing, and we have Giuseppe Camulico on the artwork. All right. So, first thing right off the bat, we get a epic psychic battle between future Jean, who was in a Zorn mask, younger Jean, the bitch, Emma Frost, and the Cuckoo triplets. And my God, it was epic. It was so bad, oh so epic that everybody's feeling it in their heads. And then the rest of the gang come, and you know, it's just like, okay, it's back and forth between each, especially Wolverine and Cyclops. They're just like, you know, even Cyclops say, you know, Wolverine, I should go in the past and bring your younger self so he can see how much of a goddamn hypocrite you are. And you know, Wolverine is looking at this like, look, let's not make this between you and me, Slim. These kids got to go back. They have to go back. And he has a point. Wolverine has a point. And Cyclops, the only reason why, in a sense, Cyclops is doing what he does is because it's a certain redhead, and they even bring it up in this book that when it involves a certain redhead, you get all lovey-dovey and luster and things like that. Even Storm belittles Cyclops in this. You know, I love the line that she uses. She's like, Storm is like, let's stop this. Stop. Don't let them provoke us. There'll be no X-Men fighting X-Men today, especially not here on the ground where Charles Xavier died. And, you know, Cyclops says, you people started this, Aurora. Don't try to make me out to be the villain again. Oh, no, Cyclops. You do that all on your own. And I was just like, man, they belittle Cyclops in this big time. And it's just an epic battle. And Jean, future Jean is, look at what she is. It's 5 against 1. And she is just taking them all out. And you can see, here's like, this is what you see in the epic battle. And you got Emma saying, why won't you ever stay dead? And it's like, I'm like, fuck you, Emma. Just fuck you. I wish you died. Fuck you. I'll take Jeannie over your ass any day. Fuck you. I'm like, fuck you. And in a sense, what she does to Emma, I'm like, you should have seen the smile on my face when she did that. I'm just like, good. This is just one epic psychic battle, mostly. It's pretty much an epic battle. And then we get more glimpses of what we see where Illyana goes. Good stuff. And then it's funny because at the end, it's just down between Jean and Jean. And not going to spoil that. But it was funny to see what Deadpool does in this. And I'm like, Wade pulling this off? I'm like, really? But yes, epic stuff in here. And when Illyana, Young Beast, and Young Iceman go to the future that the future X-Men are from, let me just say that again. Good stuff. Yeah, so epic. So chapter 5 is down. We have how many chapters left? 5 more chapters to go, and we'll see how it ends. And for me, it ends for me as well. But other than that, guys, that is it. I'll see you guys next week, God willing, as always, for another review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As you guys know me, subscribe to anybody in the description. I always leave that in the description for everybody, all the people in there. Much love to everybody. I'm not even going to go down the list of people. You should already know. And yeah, guys, yes, I don't like Emma Frost. Fuck Emma. Like I said, when she said that, why won't you stay dead? I looked at that like, fuck. Here's to you, Emma. Fuck you. I wish you would have died and your ass stayed dead. Fuck you. But other than that, and what Jean did to, should have seen the look on my face. I was loving it. But other than that, guys, you guys take care. I'll catch you guys in a flip flop. Peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, I'll catch you guys in a flip flop. Y'all take care.